Hello guys, welcome back. My name's Nathan and today I'm going to be discussing Ville Heinola and why I was so wrong about him. Now, Ville Heinola has been one of the biggest surprises out of this NHL season so far, basically bursting out of nowhere to be fantastic with the Winnipeg Jets. So when it comes to my predictions, how badly are they holding up right now, and how wrong was I about Ville Heinola? For all the terrible predictions and embarrassing takes, watch till the end to find out. Now, coming out of the 2019 NHL draft, there were two prospects that were almost slam dunk picks to get in the NHL year one. One being Jack Hughes and two being Kakko. The rest of the class was basically a coin flip. You could say a guy like Graviteh, Bowen Byram, but outside of Jack Hughes and Kakko, nobody was really sure who else would make the NHL in year one, if anybody, and nobody really predicted Ville Heinola to take that next jump. For me personally, I expect him to take a couple years of development, especially for the Jets, to get used to the North American game. But so far, he's played 6 NHL games, and has been pretty fantastic. Now, currently, Ville Heinola is tied for 8th in rookie scoring, with 6 games played so far with the Winnipeg Jets, 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. And that's about as successful as you could hope in 6 games played for an 18-year-old defenseman. When it comes to Kakko, Jack Hughes, both of them were slam dunks to make the NHL, but Ville Heinola has almost been better than both in less games, too. Now, while I personally didn't make any dedicated Ville Heinola videos throughout the year last year in my draft coverage, I talked a lot about Ville Heinola in mock drafts, in reviews and recaps of the draft, and some of the clips that I said about him, some of the things I said about him, didn't exactly age too great. Speaking of the devil of Ville Heinola, at 20th overall, the Winnipeg Jets end up selecting him at 20. Now, this makes sense, of course, with the Jacob Trouba trade, sending back the 20th overall pick. They want to get a decent player to get back, and Ville Heinola, I think, will be that type of guy, that defensive prospect. While I don't think they needed another defensive prospect, I still think overall is a solid prospect to get there. Personally, I had him as a 25th best prospect in the draft, but 20 is not a huge reach. Now, while in that clip I did say it was a decent pick for Winnipeg, there was some hesitation there. I didn't think Winnipeg was really getting a steal at number 20 of Ville Heinola. I ranked him 25th in my prospect rankings, and it was just a fine pick in my opinion. Not fantastic, but not bad either. And when it came to that pick, I also said in a couple other videos that I don't think he's really NHL ready. It might take a couple of years, 1 or even 2, to really get into North America or even get to the AHL at that point. I thought he should stay in Finland, and that's where he should be in the Liga to really round out his game. And I think there was others that agreed with me in that opinion, and I think it was the correct opinion. But Ville Heinola so far has proved himself as not just a good player in North America, but a very good NHL player. And specifically when it comes to Ville Heinola, it's not just the points he's putting up. When you watch Ville Heinola, especially in some of his first games of Winnipeg, he was one of their best defensemen, if not their best defenseman on the ice. Now, he's had a couple of rough games, which has kind of put his stats down, I would say, when it comes to expected goals and some of the Corsi stats he puts up. But when you watch him specifically, while there has been some bad points throughout the first 6 games, for the most part, he's looked like a very sturdy, mature, and competent NHL defenseman. And the points and the assists and the overall offensive game he has already is super spectacular. Now, while the situations are almost completely different, I think the play of Ville Heinola reminds me a lot of the first few games of Rasmus Dahlin with Buffalo last year. Obviously, Rasmus Dahlin was the first overall pick, Heinola was the 20th overall pick, but the way they just went into the NHL and were just mature beyond their years and were very solid defensively and put up some great offensive numbers, Ville Heinola reminds me of that year for Dahlin. I'm not sure if he'll be as good as Dahlin. I don't think that's ever going to happen for Heinola, but it does remind me of that situation. And for Winnipeg, in their spot, they aren't exactly a great pool of great defensemen. With guys like Josh Morrissey going down, they're really just starving for defense, and Ville Heinola has been able to give them that so far this season. I think he's been one of the most valuable players, and at age 18, you almost never see that. And one of the main reasons I kind of held Heinola back, especially in my draft rankings, was some of the fundamental flaws I saw in his game in the Liga. Most specifically the skating, which I thought needed some work, especially when it comes to the edges and even in the neutral zone. I thought there were some issues there. But so far in the NHL, he hasn't exactly cured that symptom, but I think he's looked a lot better in the department. And being around NHL players, being around much more experienced NHL players definitely does help that. He's got a solid system in Winnipeg to develop prospects too, so that also does help things. But you can see there was obvious work that he put in the offseason. He became a much more fluent and solid overall NHL player, and so far it's been paying off for him. While he might be sent to the AHL, we might see him back in the NHL, right now, he's looking like a lot more of a complete player than I thought he'd ever be. And I don't even think the Winnipeg Jets expect him to be this good and progress this much when they draft him 20th overall. So far, he is the 4th player to be in the NHL from the 2019 draft. The other defenseman being Tobias Bjornfot, who was selected 22nd overall by the LA Kings. We'll also see Kirby Dach make his debut in Chicago very, very shortly. But so far, Ville Heinola has been one of the most impressive players from that 2019 draft. Yes, it is early, and he's only played 6 NHL games, but right now he's looking like more of a steal for Winnipeg than I would ever think. He's a guy that for Winnipeg has been super valuable, and even at age 18 has made a big impact for them. Now, while Heinola has played amazing so far in his NHL games, there is some questions out there if he'll actually stick with the Winnipeg Jets after his tryout period. And I think the most likely thing to happen after these 9 games for Heinola is we're going to be sent down to the AHL. I think he's been great in the NHL so far, and I think he should stick in the NHL roster. But Winnipeg is getting some guys off injury, and they're getting a lot more healthy, and there might not be a spot on Heinola, especially after he had a couple of rough games in the past few games of Winnipeg. I think he got off to an amazing start, but was kind of meh, especially versus opponents like the New York Islanders. And the Winnipeg Jets might be looking to develop him a lot more while having him in some NHL games to start the season. And I think that might be wise, because Heinola has had some rough performances so far. There are some mistakes that he might want to correct going into the future in the NHL, and the AHL might be the best for that. Manitoba has developed a lot of great defensemen, this upcoming guy being Sami Niku for Winnipeg, who's been getting a lot better as the years go by. But I think that might be the best situation for Heinola. I think it would be great for him to stick in the NHL, but development-wise, the AHL might be best. But no matter what ends up happening with Ville Heinola, he's proved me wrong in every facet of the word. Being in the NHL year 1 and being very, very good too. If you would have said that he made the NHL in year 1, I'd be like, okay, he played like 6 total games and be pretty just okay for Winnipeg. But he's been good too. He hasn't just been fine, he's been one of Winnipeg's best defensemen, and I think that's what's most impressive about him. While it has been a short sample size, to be this good at age 18 was something that I never expected. But to be honest, I couldn't be more happy to be as wrong as I was, because I really do like Ville Heinola. He's a guy that I always wanted to see succeed, and in the NHL so far he has. With the Winnipeg Jets, it's like a great fit so far, and he's almost been the savior on that defense so far this season, and I've loved to see that on Winnipeg. They're in desperate need of any good wins at this point, with how crazy the turnover has been on the roster. They need defensemen in every single place, and Ville Heinola, thankfully, has been able to provide that. Whether he's in the AHL or the NHL for the rest of the year, he's proved me and a lot of other people very wrong. But let's just say we did a redraft right now in October. Ville Heinola would go a lot higher than he would right now. Going at 20th to Winnipeg, I don't think there's a chance he goes outside the top 15, at least for how he's played so far at the NHL level. Again, for being so solid and being so great as an 18-year-old, he's made more progress than a lot of prospects in the draft can say right now. And while yes, some prospects have done great in their respective leagues, not a lot of players have played as well as Ville Heinola, and right now he's playing like the best 2019 draft player. Better than Kaapo, Kakko, and even Jack Hughes right now. And I think also, especially one of the hardest things to do on this channel is to have humility about my opinions. When you're making hockey topic videos every single day, putting your opinions out there, it's one of the hardest things to do, to be humble and to say, hey, I was really wrong about this subject. And Ville Heinola has proved me wrong, and I want to put that out there. I'm not 100% accurate all the time. I'm not 100% truthful. Nobody is. And I want to put my mistakes out there for you guys to make fun of, because you should. You should make fun of my mistakes. We should all make fun of our mistakes because we all make mistakes. And this one was definitely a lot more funnier than the rest. And if there is one life lesson to be learned from today's video, it would be to never doubt Ville Heinola again, okay? He's going to be the Hart Trophy winner someday, because it's going to happen. He's proved me wrong before, he's going to prove me wrong again. But of course, with this video, I need to hear y'all's thoughts down those comments down below. So let me know what you think about my terrible predictions and terrible wrongness about Ville Heinola, and your thoughts as well. Let me know what you guys thought about him surrounding the draft, and if you were proved right, or if you were proved wrong. And also, if you're still watching the video at this point, let me see some down in the comments down below, some Ville Heinola for the Hart Trophy. But if you guys want some more Grav videos just like this one, you can watch this throwback video where a year ago, I was so wrong about Jesperi Kotkaniemi. It was even worse than this one. It was really that bad. But that'll be it for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. If you guys haven't, comment down below your thoughts on my terrible predictions and what your thoughts were on Ville Heinola. Also, we're trying to get to 10K subscribers on this channel, so share this video with your friends, anyone that you know that likes hockey, y'all. Get my terrible predictions out there, boys. That would be much appreciated. I'm Nathan, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Goodbye.